Please tell me your name and your age and what art forms you practice.
Okay, so my name is Laya Raghav. I'm 16 years old and I practice Carnatic classical violin, Western classical violin, Bharatanatyam, and Carnatic classical vocal.
So, when did you start doing all of these art forms you've just mentioned?
The first art form that I started practicing was Carnatic classical vocal, which I started at the age of 5. And then after that, I started Western classical violin, which I started at the age of 6. And then Carnatic classical violin at the age of 7. And then Bharatanatyam also when I was 7.
What languages do you speak and where does your family hail from?
So I speak Tamil and English, obviously, and my family hails from Tamil Nadu, which is in the southern part of India.
So, I am in your house and I see you practice every day, and I also heard you have a few shows coming up. So, how many hours do you practice and how often do you practice?
So I'm also a full-time student, so the amount of time I practice definitely varies on my academic workload and the holidays. So on weekdays, I generally try to practice for around 1 to 1.5 hours, and then on weekends and holidays, like 2.5 hours.
So, when did you start performing violin vocal professionally?
So I started performing professionally during the summer of 2022 because after COVID, everything had finally just settled down and I was at a professional level and people started inviting me to perform, like especially for debut dance performances like Bharatanatyam, Arangetrams, Kuchipudi, Rangapraveshams, things like that. On average, I usually have, like, over the summer, obviously, because everyone's trying to do their debuts then, I usually have, like, 4 to 5 debut performances to accompany for, and then throughout the year, it's, like, monthly 2 or 3, like, concerts or other performances.
So, I see that you have this work ethic of showing up to your practice on your own, and you're still very young, you're just a high school student. But a lot of the kids I know, that their parents have to force them to practice. So, what inspires you to show up to practice on your own?
So there's many things that inspire me. First of all, like when I play the instrument, I just feel like I resonate with it, and that makes me want to practice more and improve my skills even more. And then also my parents and my teachers, they all inspire me so much. And then my peers, like my friends who always inspire me to get better and better at the skills that I'm practicing.
So, what are your future plans in terms of your artwork, like your violin, singing, and dancing? Where do you see yourself?
I want to continue performing like with the Kritya Ensemble and taking these art forms to the mainstream. And also in the future, I want to see if I can integrate it with scientific things such as neuroscience and psychology, because there's been a lot of research about how music and dance and other art forms can be paired together with science to create like solutions for mental illnesses and things like that.
That is beautiful to hear. One last question. So, I invited you to perform with us and join Kritya Ensemble in 2022. What excited you about joining Kritya Ensemble, and why do you look forward to a future with Kritya Ensemble?
So it's always been a dream of mine to take like the Indian classical arts to a mainstream audience, since it's been such an important part of my life since like my early childhood. So I've always wanted to somehow bring these to the mainstream audience. So when you reached out to me, it was like, this is the moment I've been waiting for. So obviously I had to accept it, and I'm so glad that I was able to meet you and the other artists, because it just feels like we click so well and we're all very like-minded, have like similar interests. It's just very nice.
And thank you, Laya. We are so proud of you and we love you, and you'll always be our little entertaining Laya of our team. I can't wait to have more fun with you and tour with you across the globe. Best wishes to you, Laya.
Thank you. I'm so excited.